Hello everyone and welcome back to Car Venus 14. Now, first of all, I'd like to say I'm sorry for releasing the Sonic and the Secret Rings gameplay yesterday, quite late, because technical difficulties, but anyway, nonetheless, that's not what we're here to talk about. As you can clearly see, I am a little bit late. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I am a little bit late. The trailer got announced yesterday at 7 o'clock, but you know I had things to do at that time, so I thought I was a bit disappointed I couldn't share this with you guys earlier. But well, I can now, and here I am. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So this, what you're seeing right here, well, most of you probably know anyway. If you don't, then go and watch it. This is actually the gameplay trailer for the for Need for Speed Heat. So basically showing the gameplay, so stuff like customization, the cops and all that. So yeah, I'm not going to be playing the sound on this, as you can probably tell already. I'm not going to be playing the sound. So if you want to watch the trailer properly, go and watch it, because trust me, you need sound to actually appreciate what is going on right here. You need sound, okay? So if you want to see the trailer with sound, get off this video and go and watch it, and then come back, because there's a hell of a lot of things going on, and without sound you won't be able to understand anything. So yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it then. So what I'd mainly like to talk to is actually the start, like the gameplay setup and everything. So the two dials over here in the left and right hand corner. So remember that leaked footage I showed you in the last video I did, or was that the 2 videos ago that I did, something like that. So yeah, that video, it said, it showed us, you know, the map was on this side. I mean, it's not here right now, but the map was on this side, and then the whoops, don't subscribe to Need for Speed. I mean, sorry guys, I would subscribe to you, but yeah, not right now. Over here it would be like the dial. So yeah. Now, I don't want to come on to customization in a bit. As soon as the trailer resets, I'm going to go through it bit by bit. And I'm going to be talking about some of the online stuff, some of like the crew stuff, because well, more on that later. The customer avatar customization, customizations on the cars, the car lists, the car app you're seeing right here, the cops, the stuff they're going to be using. Yeah, basically what you can do in the game. Basically everything that we know by seeing this trailer and some separate news. So as soon as this trailer resets, which I hope will be fast enough, I don't actually want to, you know, like for the first run, I probably don't want to, I actually don't want to do anything, like, you know, interrupt the trailer as much. And also, I forgot to tell you guys, now this will actually be disappointing for actually all of you guys, to be honest, because, well, maybe not all of you, maybe some of you, but yeah. Actually, I'll get on to that point later, because, well, you know, yeah. Reasons. I have my own reasons, alright? So basically, I think what we're going to do is we're going to split this video into 2 parts. So this part will be about the gameplay, like what we can see in the trailer, and then the next part might be on the like extra news that we get. So like the extra news that we can get in the articles and all that. So the car lists and stuff like that will be in the next video. So yeah, the car lists and stuff like that will be in the next video. So yeah, stay tuned. So next video, I'm going to be talking about the car lists, which cars are going to be in there, and you know, how the app works properly and all that. So yeah, that's the next video. Anyway, which will probably come out later today. So anyway, on with the tour. What I do, I have no idea. So this is the gameplay trailer, as you can clearly see. Palm City. So the special events that are going down, as you can clearly see, is actually called the Speed Hunters Showdown, right here. You can see that, Speed Hunters Showdown. So these are the daytime events that you're going to be doing in Palm City as the player. Some really crazy cars. So here, I'd like to show you. What is this, man? Come on. Just do it properly. No, not the SS. So here I'd like to show you some more things. So yeah, as you can clearly see, you got your heat level right here, but that won't really affect you too much. As you can see, all the stuff up here are blacked out, mainly because I think because they won't actually matter in the daytime events, because in the daytime events you're not going to really be increasing your heat level as much as in nighttime events. Nighttime events are mainly focused on cops. In the daytime it's mainly you racing about money. I mean, there's obviously racing at nighttime, but there's more focus on cops at nighttime than now. So yeah. Like I was saying, so we're gonna go through a bit of things here. So here is if you haven't seen the image that I showed on with the Viper and the two things here, the rev counter and the map, go and check that video out, because I'm just gonna be doing a brief overview of these two. So yeah. So here's the map of downtown Palm City, as you can clearly see, very beautiful area. So yeah, that's basically the player. This is the waypoint fuel station, so probably for repairing your car, or like, just doing what you have to do. And then this is the rev counter here, and also there's a bit of the nitrous bottle. I'm going to focus that a bit later on in this video when we come to pausing it. So yeah, and then the damage meter here, the rev counter looks very high tech. And here's the leaderboard. So the leaderboard basically looks similar to Payback. So basically the font and everything, I think, is actually going to basically be the same as the font, and the layout of the game is basically going to be the same as Payback. But of course they have bought some things back from Need for Speed 2015, which are very, very good. I am severely impressed with EA and Ghost for doing that. So this is obviously the time, the amount of time it takes. This over here is the percentage of the actual event. So laps will be down here. If it's a point-to-point race, obviously there won't be laps like a sprint race. But if it's like a circuit race, there'll be laps here. So let's say you're on lap 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3, and so on and so forth. And here you can clearly see the percentage. So yeah, basically that's it for this image. Here you got stuff like this. I don't know. That looks like a hangout spot. So yeah, new activities, garage, fuel station, tunnel, lighting, R8, so on and so forth. Here we get to see the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio, I think, Crown Victoria. Now, I did actually spot something quite odd. Oh, for crying out loud! Let me get to it first. See, as you can clearly see, there's one nitrous bottle right here. Yeah. And then when we go on to the next gameplay shot, if I can actually get to it, you can see 5 nitrous bottles. Yep. You now have the ability in Need for Speed Heat to add more than 1 nitrous bottle. Okay? That's pretty cool. Like, adding more nitrous bottles. Now this, when I first saw the trailer, I saw that the nitrous bottles would actually be depleted. So I thought that there would be no use for this blue ring. But then, as you see later on, there is actually a use for it. This blue ring is basically the amount of nitrous you have in your tanks. Obviously. So as well as when you use nitrous, your nitrous tank will get depleted, as well as the ring as well around it. So right now this guy has used up that much nitrous, right? Or maybe that's his because if he used up that much nitrous, then he wouldn't really have, a full nitrous tank around here. So maybe that's like the maximum size of things he can have. So he can have 4 full bottles and maybe another smaller bottle. So yeah. So these bottles mainly they don't depend on they depend on their capacity, and they probably depend on the size of the nitrous bottle. So this might be, I don't know, like a 20-pound nitrous bottle. So if it's a quarter full, it might be 5-pound nitrous bottle. Half full is 10 pounds. 15 pounds is 3/4, and 20 pounds is, full. So you get the idea. At least that's my interpretation of what's going on here, which is actually pretty cool. But this also does bring me on to another point. Before that point, actually. So we got the heat level here. We got the amount of rep you earn here. The target you're supposed to get. So I'm thinking this is actually a separate mission by itself, or maybe like a daily event kind of mission thing. So it says here, hit a cop, right? And you're supposed to get this much rep. So 197,000 rep, and here the player only has 178,760 rep. I don't know what these numbers here mean, 15 and 19. I'm not sure if that's level, or I think that might be something. I think that might be level. So level 15 is this amount of rep, and level 19 is this amount of rep. I'm not sure though. Like it makes sense to be levels, but we just don't know. As you can as you can see, the cops have got health bars. If you missed that, like I said, this you have to see my earlier video, the one with the gameplay shot on the Instagram page with Need for Speed Heat. So yeah, it's just about this. Burnouts going on. Hypercars, as you clearly saw there, that was a 918. Hypercars are in this game, so do not worry. Hypercars are back as well as tuner cars. But more on that in the car list. So nothing really there for me to spot. Speed Hunter Showdown. Like here, you can see again, well, Bridlet, or Bridlet is here, you know, like 91 yards ahead of second place. So basically it's got the similar layout of Payback, and as you can clearly see, this, I think this is actually only activated at, what is it, nighttime? Right now, it's actually, grayed out, or, yeah, grayed out. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is actually grayed out, so I think this will only become relevant in the nighttime. That's a definite. This will only become relevant at nighttime. As you can see here, 5 full nitrous bottles. In the gameplay trailer, I haven't actually seen any more than 5 nitrous bottles, so I think 5 nitrous bottles is the maximum you can have in your car. This also brings me on to the second point I was going to do until I got distracted by the rep level. So yeah. So you know how in previous Need for Speed games, like in Payback, your nitrous would actually be refilled. It happens in all Need for Speed games. You could actually have your nitrous replenished, so refilled. Basically, whether that be action refill nitrous or time refill nitrous, so you could actually have your nitrous tank refilled basically. But in this game, because you have more than one nitrous tank, I think they've actually gotten rid of the element that the nitrous tank is refillable. Because otherwise, why would they have 5 nitrous tanks? If you're going to refill, you can refill one only. It just doesn't make sense. So I think this means that refillable nitrous is now gone. I'm not sure. It might be gone unless you've only got like what, one nitrous tank and you can refill that one, or like if it's just like not refillable. So this is actually quite interesting. This might mean that because usually we don't really care about looking after our nitrous tanks, we use it, well, pretty much anywhere we want, because, well, we know it's going to refill straight away. But now that there's 5 nitrous bottles, this suggests that, well, you can have up to 5 nitrous bottles. This suggests that refillable nitrous may actually be gone, and you have to take care of your nitrous a lot more because, well, you can't refill them. And this is going to become a much bigger issue. Say you use all your nitrous tanks in like a cop chase at night, and you've got no boost to actually replenish or left to use. So that's going to get you busted, surely. So yeah, you're going to have to be careful with nitrous management as well as car management itself, remember, with the damage meter. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So here you can see, well, a definitely very nice looking Mercedes AMG GT, as well as the reward. Now the reward system here, basically, it's like basically you just earn cash really for these races. You can also earn cash in nighttime races as well, I think, but a very small amount. I'm talking like maybe maximum of 1,000. Like that's how low it really is, I think, because you're going to be earning rep at night. So yeah, GTR, but that's going to be in the car list video coming in the next video. That one might be a bit of a shorter one. This is going to be very long. It's already 15 minutes and I've hardly gone through. I haven't even gotten to 30 seconds. Yeah. So yeah. Here, as you clearly saw there, let me slow that down, actually. As you clearly saw here, look slowly, look here carefully, look here. Can you see? One nitrous tank, and then the bar is going down. Okay, did you see that? So that must definitely mean that, well, that blue ring is definitely part of nitrous. So that kind of, you know, encourages my point about that refillable nitrous isn't actually a thing. So yeah, they've gotten rid of that. That if you think about it, it's not really a drawback to the game, in my opinion. I think that's a very interesting aspect of it. I like what they've done with that because, well, this is new stuff to us basically, and probably EA as well. So I think it could actually be very, very good for this game and future games in Need for Speed. So yeah, cops. Now in this scene, what the narrator basically says is, cops will actually be active during daytime. Cops will be active, as you can clearly see, free roam. Cops will be active during the daytime as well, but they will not be as aggressive as they are at nighttime. In daytime, if they see you parked on the side of the road like this Corvette is here, they won't really do anything because, you know, well, in the daytime they have to follow rules and certain regulations by the law. So they won't really disturb you that much during the daytime. So basically, you're basically a free person in the daytime, but not really, if you know what I mean. They'll still be able to slow you down and like pull you over and all that, but you can just pay a fine, and you can actually bribe the cops to leave you alone as well. So yeah, you can actually bribe the cops. That's actually shown later on in this trailer. So yeah, you can just pay up the fine, and the cops will leave you alone until you create more havoc again. But you can also bribe the cops, which see, look, I still don't understand what that says. Let me see. Actually, maybe it might help if the quality is on 1080. That might help. It is on 1080, is it? Yeah, it's on 1080, okay. So I can't really make that out, the pink writing at the bottom. Here, I don't actually know what that says. Chased by one oh! That makes sense. Okay, I think that says chased by one cop. So this is basically a counter of how many cops you're actually being chased by. So it will basically say chased by however many cops there are chasing you. So let's say if you're in the earlier heat levels or like daytime, it might be what, 1, 2, 3 cop cars. But at night, that number is going to be pushing 5. I can tell you that right now. You're going to be pushing more than 5 cops, minimum of 5 cops actually. And here, can you see? You can actually bribe the cops to leave you alone. So if you pay 10,000 credits to the cops, they will actually leave you alone, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, it also shows corruption in the game, which is very, very Need for Speed like. So yeah, you can bribe the cops and actually you can bribe the cops and do whatever you want. That's so cool. I mean, like, that's never been a thing in past Need for Speed games. Now you can actually do it. Also, I'd like to point out something else, Eden Shores. So that's another area of the map that we could be exploring as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. See, as you can clearly see, chased by 2 cops in the daytime. Now the cops they will bump into you to try and slow you down, but they're not as violent. See, circuit races called Larry, or that's not the race. I don't think that's the race. That's the player. Nice M4 as well. So speed hunters, 500 yards remaining. Port Murphy, another area over here, another area. Also, I would like to point out, Cop Chase started. Now that's something new as well. That's never been in the game before. So yeah, new font text. It also gives you here. They've gotten rid of the guidelines that you had in 2015. I was actually thinking of seeing that back, because in Payback it wasn't there. But they have this new direction thing. So this is basically what is coming up ahead, like the turn. So it's a sharp left turn that's in like the bound of distance. So basically it's basically like a sat nav in a way. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Eden Shores, racing in Eden Shores again. There's definitely going to be loads of new areas in this map for us to explore. And now we hit nighttime. So this is when cops will, well, basically take a lot of drugs and try and stop you. That's exactly what's going to happen. They can even they'll bust you during races as well. So yeah, as you can clearly see, in the daytime, this wasn't really lighted. See, it's grayed out. But now it's nighttime. This is now active. Your heat level will rise. The amount of rep you earn will rise. I'm pretty sure these are levels. These are either levels or something else. I was going to say multipliers, but then that would be a bit of a stupid thing to do. So yeah, this video might actually be hitting an hour. I'm not even sure, but it might be with the amount of progress I've made. Not even a minute, and with 30 minutes into this video. 20 minutes, I should say. That's a bit closer. So yeah, as you can see, you can clearly reach a lot of incredible rep levels. Crazy stuff. So yeah, actually, are there any new areas? We need to keep a look. We need to keep a look at this map down here because there must be a lot of new places. So we have Eden Shores, we got downtown Palm City, we've also got the port, and now we've got Cape Castle. I'm gonna call it Cape Castle. Cape Castle, yeah. Can you see this thing down here in the corner? I don't actually know what that is. There were actually some parts, apparently, in quotation marks, apparently, there were some parts of Need for Speed Rivals actually brought back into the game. So in Need for Speed Heat. So I'm not sure, but basically, if you played, well, most of you probably played Rivals. If you played Rivals, you had power-ups that you could equip onto your car. You had up to 3 power-ups. So is this a power-up as well? I'm not actually sure, but I mean, it might be. But then again, Need for Speed being Need for Speed, I highly doubt that, because that's kind of going out of the street racing thing and adding superpowers to your car, basically, which I kind of think is a bit odd. So yeah, I don't think that's a thing. What was that place? I saw Cape Castle and Eden Shores again. Hypercars are back. Port Murphy, and now we get into this part. Now, as you will be able to clearly see, your rep. I think this actually, so here's the thing, right? So, okay, that kind of delayed a bit. So you succeeded, right? So enter the garage. So I think as soon as you enter your garage, the amount of rep you've earned gets multiplied. So this is the amount of rep you earn, and then there's a multiplier next to that. Okay, I should probably not be doing that because it's gonna mess around with my there we go. So yeah, so basically here's the thing. When you're being chased at nighttime, you basically take in a lot of rep, and you can only bank that rep in when you enter the garage. So that's the main thing going on here. So you earn as much rep as you can at night, and then when you head back to the garage, like let's say, okay, that's enough for the night, I'm gonna go back to the garage. You go back to the garage, all the rep that you earned will be banked in to your actual counter. So your rep will be locked on to that until you start nighttime over again, and that will increase. And by the way, you can actually lose some rep as well. You'll actually lose the rep that you've earned at nighttime if you do get busted. So be careful, guys. Be careful. Godspeed as well, because you're going to need a lot of it. So there's definitely a lot of heavy cop cars, as you can clearly see. Corvettes, Z28s, Chargers, all sorts of crazy things going on. Helicopters, rhinos, rhinos. Okay, rhinos, rhinos, and rhinos. That's a rhino. That's a rhino right here. I did actually say in the last, in one of my previous videos, I said that they might be bringing rhinos back. Well, this is confirmation that they've definitely brought it back. Rhinos are back, and they are stronger than ever. I mean, they stopped the BMW in its tracks just like that. And as you can clearly see, you can get busted. Now that is $1, so that must be money. So the amount of fine you rank up as well. So as well as losing your rep, you will also lose a lot of money. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Spike strips as well. Spike strips are back. As you can see, the Golf, this Golf, I'm not sure if it was this exact Golf, but the Golf went over spike strips. Can you see that? I mean, the blue light might be a bit blurry, but that's the best I can do. I'm sorry. So yeah. So these are spike strips right here. If you do go over them, well, as you can tell, your tires explode and you have to drive around on that. So spike strips are back as well. So a lot of cop technology and techniques are being used in this game. Definitely a lot more as well. And you can get taken out and transported back to the garage, which means you'll lose all the stuff that you earned at night. And you can also get wrecked at, in the daytime as well, which means if you get destroyed at day, you'll lose all the money that you've earned, and if you get destroyed at night, you'll lose all the rep that you earned. Okay, so taking care of your car, taking care of your nitrous, and taking care of your points and money, very, very important in this game. So there's going to be a lot of strategy when it comes to playing this game. A lot more strategy than there was in previous Need for Speed games. And personally, I like that. I like that a lot. Escaped. Cop chase ended. So that's a new kind of text thing that comes on the screen. It's not as blinding as it was in Need for Speed 2015, because as soon as the cop chase ended, a blue light would flash across the screen. That was very blinding. I did not like that. So yeah, this is a good new thing. So yeah, back in the garage, you can bank your points. Now this, my friends, is where the tasty stuff comes in. This is the garage you're seeing right here. It's very, very big, and as you can see, there's a lot more cars than just your car in there. Now that is either one of two things, because that might be either your cars, which most probably is, or number two, a new aspect has been added into the game: crews. You can now have like different crews in Need for Speed Heat. So you can invite friends to join your crew. Basically, just roam around with players. Multiplayer, well, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. So yeah, I'd like to point out a few things here. I am going to definitely need to be very. I'm sorry if this is annoying, but I'm going to need to be very quick. You can probably hear my keyboard tapping right now. But yeah, I'm going to need to be very quick. I'm very sorry if this is annoying, but yes. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So as you can clearly see, the upgrades menu is split into 4 parts. So we got the engine, which is split into, well, here's the exhaust, the turbo, the nitrous, probably the camshaft and block is in there as well. Then there's the chassis, which I can't actually make that out. Probably the actual frame itself and all that, and the drivetrain, so the stuff like the axle, the gearbox and all that. And then we have auxiliary. I don't actually know what auxiliary means. I mean, when it comes to cars, auxiliary is well, you know, just the sound system. Basically, you plug your phone into the thing and then play music on your phone through the auxiliary unit, and then that will like play in your car. But why would auxiliary... I'm not actually sure what auxiliary is. Maybe Need for Speed has a totally different meaning to it. But I don't really see how sound would actually be, you know, available in a thing. Unless... Hold on. I just figured something out. But I'm going to show... I'm going to come on to that point later. So, as you can clearly see, the upgrade stuff, they all have these words at the bottom of them: stock, pro, race, Pro Plus, Elite. So what they've done is they've gotten rid of the speed cards in Need for Speed Payback. Thank the lords. So yeah, they've now brought back the menu on Need for Speed 2015. Remember in Need for Speed 2015 you had these categories for the parts. So you had it going up in this level. You had stock, then you had sport, sport plus, pro, pro plus, race, race plus, elite. And I don't think you had Elite Plus. I think Elite was the maximum. So yeah, they've gone back to Need for Speed 2015 with the ranking. So they've got race parts, they've got pro parts, they've got pro plus parts. They've also got Elite Plus. I'm not sure if Elite Plus was actually part of 2015. I think it was, but if not, well, that's new. So yeah, you can click. I would also like to bring you onto a point. You absolute owl-eyed viewers might have seen this. The reason I don't say eagle eyes is because, you know, owls have better eyesight than eagles, I think. Yeah, and well, it's a normal catchphrase. I like to play around with the words a bit, so yeah, create my own style. That's my speed. No pun intended there. Okay, please. Yeah. So as you can see, swap engine. You can engine swap your car, which means you can do absolutely crazy stuff to your cars now. Engine swaps are actually a thing in Need for Speed Heat. I did actually hear a lot of people actually wanted engine swaps in Need for Speed Heat. Ever since Need for Speed 2015, people have actually been asking it. 4 years later, EA have delivered. Do you know what this means? This means you could fit a V12, I don't know, a Koenigsegg V8 into a Golf. So you can have a Golf with a, I don't know, maybe even a Lamborghini V12. Most probably it's going to sound like one as well. But yeah, so swapping engines in Need for Speed, now that's something I'm going to have to explore. Very, very exciting times though, so yeah. Also, this is the upgrade menu. As you can clearly see here, all these parts are unlocked, and you know this turbo, this is actually the this is actually not just the turbo. It's, I think it actually goes for the boosts that you can add. So in this menu, I think this is actually a boost menu, so you can add turbochargers, superchargers, and guess what? They are also adding twin charged boosts as well. Twin charged is basically when you have a turbocharger and a supercharger working together to create extra boost. So you have a normal turbocharged engine or a normal supercharged engine, and now you can get a twin charged engine. At least that's what a lot of people are saying. And Need for Speed are actually saying that you got twin charged stuff as well. That Need for Speed are opening up so many bridges for themselves right now. They can expand from wherever they want from this point onwards. I'd also like to bring you onto this thing here. Now this is, well, a handling tuning map. Now, most people call it a grid, I'm going to call it a map. So you can see here race, road, drift and off-road. So these two are, well, basically what the cars are tuned to go on, so terrain-wise. So, yeah, so road will obviously be asphalt, normal tarmac. So yeah, off-road probably be sand, gravel, rocks, grass and all that, so yeah. Also, I'd like to bring you onto these two here, race and drift. So this is basically going back to the grip and drift handling tuning that they had back in Need for Speed 2015. So race is basically more set up to grip, I think, and drift is more set up, well, to drift, obviously. Now, remember when I said in one of my videos talking about the handling tuning, can't remember which one it was because I made loads of videos on these, I actually said that they'd be making grip a lot less grippy. So race is going to be a lot less grippy than the normal grip tuning in Need for Speed 2015, which is so good, which means now I can actually flick the tail of the car out when I want to, and it won't be so planted. This is really, really good. Like I said, Need for Speed, You're opening up a lot of bridges. So as you can clearly see here, there's different quadrants. So in this quadrant, the R8 is placed in this quadrant here. So that means it's built for driving on roads, and it's a race car. So so this is for race events only. So if it was up here, the car would be best suited off-road, a racing off-road car. This one would be a drifting off-road car. This would be a drifting on-road car. So a drifting road car. So this is really cool, and this just goes to show like that you can actually tune your cars to whatever way you want them to, because in Payback you didn't have that choice. You had to go to a certain showroom, and then they would give you, okay, like an off-road dealership with off-road cars only, or a drag dealership. Now you have the freedom to just go to the showroom, buy a car, and tune it to whichever spec you wanted to. So off-road race, off-road drift, on-road drift, and on-road race. That's really cool. I like that. But now, can you see there some of the options? We saw some of the options. So we had naturally aspirated, which is the normal turbo. Then we had a turbocharger, so adding in a turbo, or a dual turbocharger. So basically, one small and one big turbocharger. A twin turbocharger is like two of the same size. So yeah, you had something. What was that? Okay, what was that? Root supercharger. So root supercharger gives maximum boost at low speeds. Oh, okay, so I didn't know what root supercharger was. Then you have centrifugal supercharger, which is basically the opposite of root supercharger. So root supercharger produces a lot of power at lower RPMs, and centrifugal supercharger gives you a boost at higher RPMs. What would actually be really cool is if you could choose between the range of RPM to actually apply your boost. So let's say I've got a higher RPM. So say a turbo comes stock, so boost gets activated around 5,000 to 5,000 RPM plus, 5,000 to 7,000 RPM. Let's say that, right? So it comes stock like that. What I think would be much cooler is if we could fine tune when the boost would actually come within that range. That would be so cool. So let's say the turbocharger comes with 5,000 to 7,000 RPM boost range. So let's say I can tune that to make it much better. So I can increase the boost range. So not increase it, decrease I mean. So the booster gets activated instead of the normal 5,000 RPM, 5,500 RPM to 7,000 RPM. That's what I'm saying. So like fine tuning the boost, that would be really cool. That's a normal turbocharger, another dual turbocharger. But these turbochargers, remember, they all have different, different stuff. So there's like a dual turbocharger that's race, a dual turbocharger that's pro, a dual turbocharger that's elite, and so on and so forth. So yeah, now we get into the customization of the car. Now, as you can see, some new customizations that I have actually noticed in the trailer. 3SDM. Those are some guys I did not think that were going to come back. BBS have come back, as you can clearly see. There's the Alchemist have come back as well. Alchemist have come back, which is really, really sweet, actually. Very sweet. So yeah, R8 does have a few limited options when it comes to the hood, which is a bit disappointing because it's an R8. You want to do whatever the hell you want to it. So yeah, rims here. I don't know what that is actually. What is that? Is that for the? Oh, that's the wide body kit. So wide body, you had well, you got the rims. You had the normal Audi wide body kit. You have Speed Hunter's body kit as well. So that stock one was the the normal stock body of the car. Speed Hunters adds wide body flares on it. Now the spoiler. So we've got the Alchemist spoiler, the R8 spoiler, AR Performance. I said they were going to come back. Speed Hunters are back. So yeah, loads of people have come back. Also Voltex have come back as well. Paint options. Now paint, we got crazy paints. We got dual tone, color shift. We've got carbon color shift paints. carbon color shift, guys. I've always wanted carbon color shift. Carbon color shift looks really nice, like on cars. But this just takes it. This takes it, honestly. So we've got a slight we got a slight tinge of orange over here, moving out to yellow and then green, then going to blue, pink, purple. We've got multicolored, well, basically color shift carbon, which is so cool. We've also got these kind of spotty textures that make the car look dirty. Not personally, I don't really like that, but still, creativity-wise, Need for Speed score 10. And this is absolutely crazy. This is another color shift. It's actually called Hyper Shift. Hyper Shift is like color shift, except the color changes are so drastic. Like, you can actually see the change. It's a lot more in your face. Whereas normal color shift is like subtle. This is a lot more like in your face. Like, I'm changing colors. Look at me. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then we got red carbon. Red carbon. Now this is the customized menu. So you've got the upgrades menu and you've got the customized menu. So here you've got 5 settings. So you got body, paint and wrap, effects, stance, and exhaust sound. Exhaust sound, guys. We're coming on to that in a bit. Do not worry. So yeah. Basically, here, well, you know, we already saw the body customization. You pretty much know what's going to happen there. Paint customization, we already know what's going to happen there. Effects. Now, remember that they actually got rid of loot boxes. They actually got rid of loot boxes. They're not coming back. So there will be no vanity items. But effects is something similar to vanity items. So in vanity items, we had horn sounds, nitrous smoke, tire smoke, underglow, and air suspension. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, in effects, we're going to be having the same thing. We can change our tire smoke, we can change our nitrous color, we can probably do underglow as well. Horns, maybe. Horns most probably, actually, and air suspension most probably as well. Now, stance tuning, well, we already know what's going on there. Slam the car, add camber to it. One thing that is still unknown. Are we able to bring the Are we actually able to bring the wheels out like we could in 2015? If you played that game, that ability was called track width. Can we change the track width in Heat? Because that would be so much better. And now exhaust sound, guys. We can, for the first time in any Need for Speed game, we can change the exhaust sound. We can't change it completely, but that's what I like about it. We can change it, but we can make it much better. So we have this normal stock exhaust, let's say, but we make it sound a lot more aggressive. And here's the settings. So we got the tone. So you can have a simple tone or a much more throaty tone. I would actually love to let you listen to the sound of the exhaust, guys, but unfortunately my PC fan is actually very loud. So that's why if I stop talking, even for a bit, you will actually hear the fan, and it's really irritating. So I'm very sorry about that. That's why you never hear me shut up in videos like these, which is why I'm constantly talking. So if you ever wondered, that's why. So yeah, here we go. If you want to hear the exhaust for yourself, go and check out the trailer and then come back to this, because trust me, it's worth it, 100%. So the tone, so you can have it simple, like very like normal and subtle, or you can have it throaty, so make it like aggressive, like with the crackle and pop. So the timbre, smooth or aggressive? Well, definitely aggressive in my opinion, because I want people to know I'm there. I'm coming right now. Overrun. So this kind of controls the crackle and pop, or the backfire, as some people like to call it. The crackle and pop is basically the backfire of the car. So you can have like a subtle crackle and pop, which is what I'm going to call it. So you can have a subtle overrun, which will like there will be like crackle and pop, but it will be like very quiet. Or you can have it raw, which means the crackle and pop is absolutely loud as hellfire. It's crazy. Resonance, not actually sure what this is. I think this is actually the I don't actually know, but I think this is the like the amount of sound coming out of the exhaust, if you know what I mean. So let's say stock. Yeah, hardly any sound coming out, like hardly any sound, like what is it, how should I, echoing out of the exhausts. Yeah, so if you put it to metallic, obviously sound being sound, it will reflect off shiny surfaces. It's a bit like light, a bit of a physics lesson here. It will reflect off shiny surfaces a lot better. So if you have, let's say, a metallic inside of the exhaust, more metallic sound, like inside material of the exhaust, it would echo out of the exhaust a lot better, so the sound quality will be a lot more crisp. So I think that's what that means. Over here, you can also rev your engine if you want to. You can rev the engine inside the garage. Absolutely amazing. It's been 45 minutes already, and I'm only just past halfway. I think this is going to be an hour video, guys. So, yeah. Basically, yeah. So I would love to show you guys, honestly, but I just can't. We got another character here. Now this guy is not an avatar. I don't think he's actually an avatar. I think he's actually a story character. So I mean that would make sense because, well, I don't know. There's nothing about there's nothing that says avatar about, like, to him. It looks like he's a story character. So yeah. This is the cutscene in more depth, more lighting and everything. So yeah. Avatar customization, guys. We've got actual licensed clothes. So this is the avatar customization menu, so you can actually customize your avatar, so what he wears, so his upper body, his lower body, his head, his feet and everything. So yeah, so we got actual, and by the way, these clothes are actually properly licensed as well. Properly licensed, so these aren't fake. Well, you should know Need for Speed by now, guys. They don't like doing fake things. So yeah. Um, and Adidas shoes and socks, matching socks, pink socks if you want to go with the pink and blue matching thing. So yeah, like I said, you can customize your hat and your face as well, so you can do all that kind of stuff. This is the garage, so yeah, I'm not actually sure if you're able to buy more garages. I don't think you are because according to the article, this is the only garage in the game, so yeah. And now we get onto the app. Now this app, basically you can download it on your phones on the App Store, and or you can do it on Play Store or Google Play on your a Samsung phone, or Samsung phone. So you can clearly tell I'm a hater of Android. So yeah, on your Android phone. So basically, you can actually download this right now, and there will be 10 cars that you are able to customize in the game. Before you actually get your hands on it, which is actually pretty cool in my opinion. So you can customize your cars, so add body kits, paint, obviously the effects of the paint, window tint, vinyls, all sorts of, like, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if you're able to tune your exhaust sound from it though. I doubt it because, well, I don't know. It's just something that's I don't know. It's just a gut feeling, to be honest. And you can download it as soon as you get your hands on the game or open the game up again. You can download it on the thing, and you can apply it. Obviously, it will cost money, but yeah, that's really it. Any new maps here? Any new areas? Downtown Palm City as usual? No, nothing. Okay. So as usual, you do have targets. Eden Shores as usual. So I think those are the only main areas that you need to know. These things over here, they're checkpoints. That's the new style of checkpoints. So yeah, these are now coming onto crews. You can actually have crews in. You have crews in your, in your oh, for crying out loud, I forgot the word. In the game, you can have crews. Now, you can on the network, on one single network. Yeah, this actually varies for different consoles. PC, we haven't actually got any information on how much, people you're allowed on using one network. Xbox, on one network, you can have up to 10 people using one network, and on PS4 you can have up to 16 people. I already mentioned this in another video, so yeah, which is pretty cool. And I just noticed something actually. How do you have no power at all? Either he has no power at all, or the game's glitched. I highly doubt that though. Or he has so little power that it counts as 0.0. So yeah, sad times. Anyway, hypercars, absolutely crazy hypercars, and I'd also like to show you. Remember the Kaisel Salim car that I showed you guys in the last episode? This is the back view, and my god, what an absolutely beautiful rear wing. Kaisel, if you're watching this, listening to my voice right now, I love what you did to the car, man. You did not destroy it, okay? Haters can hate, but you did not destroy this car. In fact, if anything, you made a masterpiece into an even better masterpiece. You turned a blank canvas into a Vincent van Gogh painting. For me, cars like that are art. They are an absolute art. In fact, I think those kind of cars should be in well, they shouldn't be in museums, but like art galleries. Because, well, who else would appreciate it other than artists themselves? I mean, if I was an artist, I see potential in that. But an absolute amazing, huge wing, and if you guys don't know by now, I'm a ricer. Okay, if you didn't know about that, I am a ricer. I will absolutely rice things if I have to. I know a lot of people hate ricers out there, but I will rice anything you give, any car you give me, I will rice it. Trust me. So yeah, I will rice, and this right here, that's screaming rice to me in my face. Not the rice that you eat. I mean, like the the rice, what you ricers, man, ricers. They add stupidly crazy modifications to their cars. Yeah, that. So yeah, there's nothing else really to comment on the game. Yeah, I mean that's just about it, to be honest. I don't really see anything else interesting coming. So yeah, like I said, oh that was new. There was a new map. What was that? There was a few new things here actually. Port Murphy, that's not new. Getting busted. Eden Shores, downtown Palm City, Port Murphy again. There was a new area, downtown Palm City. Where is it? Eden Shores, for crying. Blackwood Heights. That's a new area. And yeah, I mean that's really it, to be honest. I don't really see anything else to do. Apart from rhinos are back, and all sorts of crazy stuff are going to be happening in this game. That was a takedown and a half. Did you see the spin on that? Bloody hell, that was crazy. Anyway, guys, that's just about everything. And it's just clocked over 50 minutes. That's probably the longest video I've ever done. So yeah, guys, later today I will actually be posting another video on all the cars. I could have done it this episode, but it would have been really long, so I didn't want to do that. So yeah. By the way, this is the only time I'm going to show this trailer. I'm going to go back to the CGI trailer, the first ever one that got announced. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you have any concerns or comments, put them in the comment section below. So yeah, I have been CarVenus14, and still am, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, which is coming out later today. Stay tuned for that. Alright, stay tuned. We're gonna go through all the cars in that car list, and probably some of the customizable cars, like that you can basically. I'll start all over again, right? So basically, you could, if you download the app now, there are actually 10 cars you can customize before the game's actual release. So I think we're gonna go through those cars as well. Okay. So stay tuned for that, because you're gonna need to know. Because if there's a lot of Need for Speed players out there, and if you're not a Need for Speed player, you're probably interested in it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Enough of me rambling on. So yeah, goodbye.